Red Review here with Old Colony Pest Control. If you're having pest problems in a commercial or residential setting, we're the people to call. Veteran-owned, based in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Old Colony has been here servicing your homes proudly, and we plan to keep it up. Our team is fast, efficient, and reliable. We go above and beyond to cater each project's individual need. No task is too much for us, so give us a call. 774-400-5993. Again, the number is 774-400-5993. Hope to hear from you soon. General Red Review, out.
A better job, a better home, a better life. Who hasn't wished for these things, worked for them, and sought a place where they had a better chance of becoming real? For generations, Brockton has welcomed those seeking something better. From those who came in search of opportunity to today's multicultural population that makes us the most diverse community in all of New England. Brockton is a place where homes are more affordable, communities closer, where a strong and talented workforce fuels the success of businesses big and small, and the vision of a more diverse and equitable America is being realized every day. It's where ideas take root, businesses grow, communities thrive, new beginnings unfold, and the promise of a better life is kept. Brockton, Massachusetts, where better begins.
Time to grow up. You got a problem with your self-esteem and ego. Oh, here we go again. It's time to grow up now. Oh no.
401 Music Man on the track. I'm sorry for the ways that made you feel broken.
Coming up as a youngin', accustomed to dysfunction. Life similar to the girl interrupted. 2 in the dough, trying to make something from nothing. Get it to live. Always the topic.
Every time I see a bad chick, I lick my lips, lick my lips. Every time she move them hips, I lick my lips, lick my lips.
Based in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Old Colony has been here servicing your homes proudly, and we plan to keep it up. Our team is fast, efficient, and reliable.
It's caught in the crossfire.
Should I get rid of the NS flexing?
Nobody knows what waits for the dead. Nobody knows what waits for the dead.
Ennis Flexen? Did he say that? They're never letting him out of that lease. Every single inch of that thing is customized. Spoiler, brake calipers, engine covers. I begged him not to get it. Begged him.
Hold on, wait. She said she begged me?
Woo! Better buy this right now. I swear to God, if you don't buy this I will go somebody with this exact same car. Do not test me. Woo! Oh, buy this My mother.
I'm sorry.
Woo! That's how I felt.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
This is the booth.
Alrighty, it's your boy Citizen One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are listening and watching The Booth, and we are ready to kick today's show off. It is January 10th. We are already into the second week of January. Big thanks to my guests from last week. First Tuesdays, Kenneth Diesenhof, Robert Resnick. They came on. We talked legal stuff. We talked about political stuff. But tonight, I got a great guest, my first guest of 2023. I seen this dude tear down the house at the finale. Actually, not just at the finale of the It Factor. I seen this dude kill it from the first night I seen him at the It Factor. And I remember seeing there was a girl there, Tati Diaz, was on that same night I saw you, and she actually put in some work, and she actually opened up that finale. And I had said, man, she was one of the best improved performers. So I was like, all you guys who was doing good, because you were the guy that was leading the bunch in my book from day one. You set the bar. And I'm like, damn, I even said it. I'm like, I don't know how Laroy and the other kid there was gonna do what they needed to do. And I was like, damn, what is he gonna bring tonight to do this? And before we get into what happened, let me get into my sponsors. Michael Douglas Barreto, MDB Electronics. If you got your controller, you're a gamer like me, you want to get it fixed, send it out 24, 48 hours, you're back to gaming. Also, Viana Marie's music available now. It's personal, streaming everywhere. Please show your support. The album is fire. Tracks are banging. Everybody who's been bumping it and rocking with it, yo, we love you. It's great stuff. Tactical target systems. When I go to the range, those are them zombie targets I use, because you all know me. I got to fear the zombie apocalypse, so my skills got to be on point. I love BostonSports.com is one of the sponsors. Entering Massachusetts, this is one of their shirts. And Pride. The Prides were on my show. This is their hat. Killing it. Carl Bonnell, veteran owned, Old Colony Pest Control, 774-400-59993. Reach out to him if you got any pests. And before we get into the news booth, we're going to get into this interview. So as I was saying, this dude, the last night of the It Factor, and we had to wait. We actually had to wait for the It Factor because Benson the General had a car accident. Then they had a death in the family. Yep. So we waited almost a year for this finale. Yeah, to take place. This dude right here, I remember it was me and all the judges. I remember I was sitting right next to Andrew Cherry.
Yes.
And I remember us saying, okay, Leroy's coming up. What's he going to do? Now, you had a keyboardist. You had backup singers. You had lighting. And your keyboardist had a little bit, a few problems.
Right.
And I loved it because the way you handled it is the way that another artist should have handled his problem early in the night, and he didn't. He did it completely wrong. And I said, see what Leroy did? He let his keyboardist handle the problem, and then they went and performed, and guess what? Nobody even remembers what happened that night about the keyboardist because you put
right.
Look, people, when I say, when you go see a local artist, you sometimes say, I'm going to see a local artist, and you know you're seeing a local artist. For real. That night, man, Leroy, you put on an effing show. And when I'm just telling you, when I say he put on an effing show, that's an understatement. Like when it was all said and done, I remember Andrew Cherry looking at me and me looking at Andrew Cherry, and Andrew Cherry's like, this dude's a problem. I'm like, I
appreciate that.
Yo, you killed it. You had a song. You talked about the pen being the sword and the kid. What was that? Tell that lyric for these people, because I was like, holy shit.
You talking about so the I am him, the leader of my city, I'm the king with the pen.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Please spit that for these people, please, man. Just kind of give them a little taste of that.
No, I got you, bro. It went I am him, the leader of my city, I'm the king with the pen. Let him know, tell him I am him. I'm the rapper that don't be looking like I rap. That's him. I'm me. Who you? I ain't messing with you. You peaked in 12th grade. What you want me to do? I rap for mother lovers that don't fit the description. For you young bucks breaking out of the system. Come on. That's just the hook right there. But that's what everyone went crazy over when I did that on that particular show.
Oh man, I was like, what? I was like, did he really say that? I was like, this dude is coming. This dude, and then you released this video, 65 Jamaica Way, and we're gonna get into a little bit of that. But first, let's introduce people to Laroy Streat. Introduce yourself. Let them know who you are, how long you've been doing music, and some of your influences.
For sure, yeah. So my name is Laroy Streat. Started doing music, I want to say around 15 years old. And I tell everybody, man, I started music at 15. I started getting good at 22. So it was about 5 or 6 years doing music where it's really not something that you want to hear right now.
I see some of the pictures and videos from when you was young. They are funny.
But I'm so proud of the growth, man, and I'm so glad that I was able to have that growth, man. So yeah, I started my first breakthrough was WEI and 98.5, the Sports Hub. Both of those radio stations is where, weirdly enough, I got my first opportunity to rap for the masses. For WEI, I did about 300 Freestyle Fridays. A couple of them, I was able to do a Freestyle Friday with Acrobatic because he's the person I grew up doing Freestyle Fridays on.
He was doing 94.5s at the time. He was doing the 94.5 sports wrap-up.
Right. And I was blessed enough to create that connection and even now have a relationship with Acrobatic. Also with Mr. Lift, did a Freestyle Friday with him as well. Another Boston legend.
Yeah.
So that's really that's really the place in my life where I said, you know what? I can really do this. This is not just a hobby anymore. This is something that I'm serious with, and I think I can do it on more than just a.
You put in a whole show. Like I said, this dude came with a keyboardist. You came with backup singers. You came with the whole shebang, and I felt like, damn, this dude gave us a show for free, and it wasn't even like a show. Right. You put together a set, and I manage Viana Marie, and one of the things that we do that I've worked with her on is putting together a show set. And we've had people come to us, and one of the things that I hate when you do a lot of these local shows, I hate when performers get up there and they call themselves performers, but then they want us, they got this hype session, they got this hot performance going on, right? But then oh, DJ, stop that track. Can you just skip that and go for, and I'm like, bro, you're performing for people. People don't want to see you to say, stop the track, go to the next track. and kill the flow
Not
you
at all.
got. And Viannama's been doing it the same way. We've been putting show sets together. So all she can focus on is giving people the best performance. And the thing about having the show sets is that you can know when people are messing with your sound and all that. Because I'm a DJ. So when I mix her sound, her levels are straight across the board. But there's a lot of things that you do that I tell people, take notes. Watch what this man's doing. He's not stopping during his set and telling the DJ to do this with it or do that and slowing the whole vibe down. You came out there, you put on a show, and then the tempo. What's up with the placement? Because the placement of the songs you did was perfect. You built the crescendo. You built it.
Thank you, man.
And is that something that you know to do? Because a lot of artists don't do that. Some artists, they come out and put the banger first and then go 3 slow songs and kill everybody. So
I definitely like to build up. I definitely like for, when in every great movie, it doesn't start with the climax. There is a build up to the climax of a movie. So I like to think of my shows in that same manner. I want to start off with something that's going to get your attention, and I want it to build up to the message that I really want to give you, the climax of my show. So yeah, you're definitely right on with that, man. Definitely right on with that.
And it seems like everything's personal. There's a lot of personal stuff in your lyrics. We talked off air about this 65 Jamaica Way. We talked about some of them personal lyrics in there. So are mostly all of your songs have that personal connection?
Yes, and that is really what started with my forthcoming project, Broken Legacy. This whole project that I'm working on right now is the most personal. You talk about Vianna Marie, it's personal. Me and her are kind of on the same writing wave right now. I'm going into some real personal stuff on this project, man, and a lot of it's uncomfortably personal. But I think that's what makes great music, when you're putting a song out and you don't even really want people to know what you just said.
Usher Confessions. Usher Confessions.
Yep. Exactly.
Usher Confessions. Exactly. His biggest LP was his rawest, most personal album to date was that Confessions album. And a lot of people, I remember people being pissed at Usher for putting a lot of that personal stuff in the music about the kid and the relationship with Chili and all that stuff. But it was the biggest seller. It was huge for him. But yeah. Yes. So when I see you perform, one of the things I notice about you too, when you perform, bro, you're like Jekyll and Hyde. Like we're here with you right now. We're interviewing you. You're smiling. You're having fun. But when you're performing, yo, bro, I can't even approach you when I see you. You're like getting in your zone. You're walking around. You're talking to your backup singers. You're mad serious. You got like your whole Christian Bale Dark Knight thing going on. For real. You walk around there like, I got my keyboardist ready. We're gonna get this music together. Backup singers, I need you to.
I don't even know. That's how I looked, man. I had no idea, bro. Oh man.
And when you perform, it's the same way, that energy, that emotion. The last song you did to close out the show, I was like, whoa, you put everything into it. It was like you knew this was it. You was like, this $1,000 is mine. this $5 grand was mine. Yeah. There was gonna be no ifs, no ands, and no buts. And to be honest, when you got done performing, I think everybody in the place was like, there's nobody else who's winning this but him, because it was just above and beyond. Nobody could argue about anything about that victory. And it was great. So I got to hit up Benson, because I got to see if Benson actually put that performance out there. And that song that we just talked about, do you have any plans of putting that out as a video or release?
The last song that I performed that night?
Yes.
Yep. So that last song that I performed is an interlude to the actual song that's going to be on the project, which is actually featuring Acrobatics. So shouts out to Acrobatic for having the pleasure of getting on a song with me. And so yeah, that song's coming out. Video is going to be with Sando Films once again. So shouts out to Sando Films. And yeah, definitely, most definitely, yeah.
And we got video
and all that.
We got people in the chat. If you guys got any questions for my man Laroy Streat, Angela Pride. Angela Pride is in the chat watching. Bam,
Shouts
Angela.
out.
Tell the husband that pride, that pride excellence. Yo, that's some. And I had actually wrote it down what pride stands for. And if she can, Angela, if you're still watching, can you drop what pride actually means in the chat so I can let people know? Because a lot of people should be wearing these pride hats. It's personal recognition, something excellence, deserves excellence, personal responsibility, something deserves excellence. And I love that. And I was like, damn, that's the hat to wear. That's the hat that only a few deserve. So Angela, if you're out there, if you're in the chat, check it out. Sean Clancy. Oh man. This kid, Sean Clancy, you guys, this dude puts up weights. This dude is doing the jerk. Sean Clancy, I got to give a big shout out to you. If anybody out there likes weightlifting or clean jerk, hit Sean Clancy up. This kid, he's been doing this since high school football, putting weight. And you got an El Camaro. I actually got to get with Sean Clancy, and get a picture of Vengeance beside his Camaro that he just got. He just got a badass Camaro that is fire. So I got to hook up with Sean and get that picture this summer with those two together. But again, I got Laroy Streat on with me. He's going to
honored to be here, man.
Yeah, he's going to hang out with me for the whole show. We're actually going to show his video. Actually, not yet. We're not going to show the show. But tell people how they can find you. Let them know about your social media and stuff, because I want to make sure people are checking you out and seeing what you got out there.
Yep, everything is my first and last name. So Laroy Streat, Laroy, Streat, Streat. That's all my socials: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. If you want to look me up, that's the way to do it. It's just my first and last name.
Cool. And I like to ask people questions off guard and ask them something different than anybody would ask them. So you're in the music industry. You've been doing this music thing. If there was one thing you could change about the music industry, one thing that if somebody gave you a magic wand and said, you got a magic wand for one day and you can change one thing that you don't like in the music industry, but you only have this one-time use, what would that magic wand be for you?
You know what? I think it would be, I love the competitive nature between artists. I want to keep that. I want artists to always have a healthy competitive nature with one another, but I would take out all the cutthroat BS that goes on behind the scenes. I would just cut all that out. There's no need for that. That stuff.
That crab in the barrel.
Oh my goodness! It holds a lot of artists back. It holds a lot of artists back. So I feel like if you come into this game, you have to grow. If you're just the nicest person in the world, you got to go into like a cellar or a basement somewhere and grow some grit, because that's the only way you're gonna get out on top in this industry. Unfortunately, I don't think that's a good thing. I think you should be the nicest of people and still be able to flourish in the music industry, and that's just not the case.
And it's funny too, because I have a lot of anger. I actually talked to someone else about this week. We were talking about stuff, and me and Viana had our chance to be at the Boston Music Awards about a few weeks ago, just before Christmas.
Saw you guys there.
Yep, we were there, and there was some stuff that went on there that I wasn't happy with, and they had Best Rap Artist, and nominated for Best Rap Artist was Joyner Lucas. And there's been this hate against Joyner Lucas for the longest time. First it was, well, he's not really Boston, bro. He's from Worcester. And you've seen dudes on Facebook, you've seen these wannabe rappers on social media talking about, well, he ain't Boston. He ain't this, and I'm not supporting him. And I'm saying to myself, this man got videos with Mark Wahlberg, George Lopez, Snoop Dogg, and you all want to hate. Now, he came home before Joyner Lucas Fest that we went to go see. He came home and shot a video and invited everybody out to Worcester to shoot this video. He wanted to put everybody on. And the hate for me was like, I couldn't believe it. the hate for this man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so here's the thing, people. When he decides to start making people from other states, you know what's going to happen? Now the hate's going to be, oh, well, he ain't helping people out back home. Well, y'all ran him away.
Right.
Y'all treated him like crap when he came back home and tried to put people on, and you all still it again, that crab in the barrel mentality. Like
right. Do you think people that aren't from Forest Hills Drive say J. Cole's not from my street, so I'm not gonna rep him? No, they don't say that. They say that's J. Cole. He's from where I'm from, and I'm gonna rep him. No matter if he's from down the block or 2 hours away in the same state, it don't matter. He's from the same state, Boston or whatever. I listen, Worcester, Boston, Needham, wherever. You know what I mean? If they're in Massachusetts, we should just be grateful that anybody got as big as he got and just use that to our advantage.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's the same. You know, Millie's started blowing up, and then I seen the same thing about Millie's. People was like, "Well, he's from Cambridge. Right. Why is he saying he's from Boston? He's from Cambridge." And I'm like, "Come on now, what do you all want, bro?"
How close you gotta be? Millie's is from Cambridge, but he ain't from Boston. How close you gotta be now? Come on, please.
It's comical. This shit is comical here in Boston sometimes, and I've had some people talk to me, and I keep it real. I tell people there's no reason why guys like Acrobatic and guys like Mr. Lift, how come guys like Apathy ain't household names? Apathy has been throwing down some of the sickest rap albums. Slain in Boston's been throwing down. Underground, all of these dudes that I mentioned, they get their props. They get their terminology. All these people get their props behind the scenes with the underground. But when you talk about commercial mainstream, these people don't get no love, and it's sad because Boston got talent. We've had talent. We have talent. I remember growing up, and I remember when Guru was out in Attleboro, and Guru left of Gangstar. He left Boston because people were fake way back then, and he had to go to New York and blow up. Wow. You know, and that's some crazy stuff. But so the magic wand, if that would be your thing, that crab in the barrel, step over everybody, man.
Cut all that out.
I think a lot of people would say that. I think I'm going to ask that question for a lot of people that come on this show and see what. It's interesting to see what that magic wand would be. Now, you won this contest, $5,000, and we talked up here, you were working on a project. Tell us a little bit about this project that you're working on.
So the project is titled Broken Legacy. It really talks about, to talk about a broken legacy, you got to start at the beginning of the legacy. So I start from the beginning of my family tree and how I got to the place that I am right now. We talk about stuff like depression, anxiety, feeling like you're not going to hold any weight into your last name, things of that nature. How I'm feeling now with having a family and wanting to, have them look at me and be proud and stuff like that. Things that are not being talked about with other artists. I'm going to be the one to talk about it. So that's what Broken Legacy is about. And how do I piece back that broken legacy? How do I piece that broken legacy back together is what I try to get to by the end of the project.
Nice. And you know what? We need this music. Like Kendrick Lamar had just put out his latest project. And a lot of black people, they don't want to play it. They don't want to bang it. And I'm like, y'all know why you don't want to bang it, because Kendrick Lamar was talking about some deep stuff that y'all don't really want to talk about. You don't want to talk about why you had certain uncles that people wouldn't let come over the house to babysit the kids. He was he was talking about some deep stuff, and people really didn't want to get into that conversation. That's why nobody's really blowing up this Kendrick Lamar album the way that they should, because he was talking about, the toxic relationships with your girl. He's talking about that and put that in the forefront. Nobody wants to talk about that, and I applaud Kendrick Lamar for putting that album out. That was a ballsy album to put out. But again, we as a society, as a culture, we don't put it to the top like we do the Chronic. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we put the wrong music at the top of what should be something classic. And I feel like that Kendrick Lamar should have been there. It should have been something we bump every day. But I think what happens is we get uncomfortable with some of the things that we don't want to talk about. And it's
you know what,
sad.
man, I said to myself with this project, man, I said to myself, I'm gonna make sure that every word and every syllable is authentically me. Because I feel like there's a lot of artists, local artists, mainstream artists, whatever. It doesn't the gravity of how big they are, it doesn't matter. I feel like a lot of artists out here are not really being true to who they are, and they're given a perception that's not them, and it's given the wrong perception to whoever's listening to them. So I just wanted to make sure, whether or not this blows up or doesn't, I can always say that this project from front to back, from beginning to end, is authentically me. There's not one sentence that there's not one line that you can see, one verse that you can read that you say, oh, that's not Laroy. There's not one of those verses on there. So that was what I tried to accomplish on this one.
Okay, so we're going to have, Leroy's going to stick around. He's going to talk some of the topics that I have tonight, but what we're going to do, we're going to show Laroy Streat's video. I'm going to let this man introduce the video. So I got the 65 Jamaica Way. Tell them a little bit about the video, and then I'm going to let you introduce it, and then we're going to play it.
Yeah, man, 65 Jamaica Way, first song that has dropped for the new year, first music video for the project, first single for the project, shot and directed by Sando Films, and I hope you guys enjoy it, man. 65 Jamaica Way, streaming on all platforms right now. If you want to rewatch the video after it plays, it'll be on YouTube, and you can search it by searching my name, Laroy Streat.
All right, here we go.
Hey. This one feel good, don't you agree? I would charge it to the game, I ain't really got no credit. Remember when you laughed when I said where I was headed? Life too short, this is just another day. I could give a fuck what a hater gotta say. Hey, when you get a dream, gotta give it all you got. I was always looking, I was never at the top. If you ain't in the hood, they don't think that you can pop. And it never helped that my pops was a cop. Nah, you ain't hear me. I never struggled, so I struggle in this. My lack of a sad story kept me low on the list. If all of y'all really knew me, then it probably would shift. Cause I done been in so many women, the thought of it sick. A young dude getting clown cause my father's around. Calling me fake black from the way that I sound. Funny how positivity can give you less friends. My circle was always small, but I could always depend, you know? Ay, my legacy is in question. I don't have the strength to look into my reflection. I don't see me any more than I see you. I'm lost in this game, I'm living beyond truth. Mother Street, I'm trying to climb. Validation in my name is what I'm trying to find. I got a lot that I want to restore. But if God ain't first, you got it high and par before. That's what my grandma say. Ay, she would fly by 65 on Jamaica Way. Ay, that's what my grandma say. Ay, she would fly by 65 on Jamaica Way. Yeah, that's what my grandma say. Ay, she would fly by 65 on Jamaica Way. Ay, that's what my grandma say. Ay, now I fly by 65 and I'm on the
That's what my grandma say. She fly by 65 on Jamaica Way. That's what my grandma say. Hey, she fly by 65 on Jamaica Way. Yeah, that's what my grandma say. She fly by 65 on Jamaica Way. Yeah, that's what my grandma say. Now I fly by and I'm on the
And that was Scott Sandinato of Sando Films, who also shot Vianna Marie's Let's Roll video that you guys saw earlier last year. Scott was nominated for Videographer of the Year, Boston Music Awards. He was in the VIP with us. Unfortunately, he didn't take home an award that night, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes stuff like that just makes you hungry. Scott's been grinding and doing a lot of work around here in New England hip-hop scene, so, he's still going to get love regardless, Tell us a little bit about that video. You talk about your grandmother in that song. The inspiration for some of the words in that song. You really got personal in the song. You talk about your dad. the fake black, and we've got that connection there. So just tell us a little bit about that, and those lyrics and your grandmother there and that inspiration.
Yeah, so she was the start of the legacy. She's the one that raised my father. She's the one that taught him to be the man that he is today, and in turn, also he's the one that raised me to be the man that I am today. So I never claim in any of my music to have gotten it out the mud. That has never been my life. I never had to, because my parents did that for me. They're the ones that got it out the mud. My mother's from South Philly. My father's from Mattapan. They both are the ones that really got it out the mud and put me in position to where I had a really great childhood growing up. So that line that you brought up, calling me fake black from the way that I sound. That was a real line, and we talked offline about how you can resonate with that. And you said something really profound offline. You said something along the lines of, you don't fit in with the white people because you ain't white, but you don't really necessarily fit in with the black people either because of how you carry yourself. So it's like, where do you fit in? Where do you put yourself? And that's really something that I struggled with for a while, and you kind of hear me spill my guts about that on this record right here.
Yeah, for those who are listening, we're talking about off air is because I grew up in the projects in Boston, and my mom and dad stayed together for a very long time. So I caught a lot of flack because my dad was around, and my dad was this eclectic person. My dad made us watch movies that people really didn't watch. I remember my dad taking me to Chinatown Theater on Saturdays just to watch Chinese martial arts flicks.
Whoa!
So
wow.
my dad would take us. We didn't wait. We didn't go see the movie. My dad took us right to Chinatown to see Bruce Lee. He took us to see Jackie Chan. We went right there because he wanted us to see those movies in the culture that it comes from. And I remember my dad taking us to see Chinese Connection and all these movies before Enter the Dragon even came out, because a lot of people didn't know about Bruce Lee when Enter the Dragon came out. Only the real martial artist people knew. And like I said, my dad exposed me to Kiss, Arthur Fiedler, all this rock music. And again, when I remember, like I said, I moved to Brockton, and the black kids out in Brockton, that the few little kids, they didn't like me because I talked different. I talked, and the white kids didn't like me at that time because I was this black kid from Boston that everybody thought that I was hood. So I didn't fit in. I didn't have, so it was hard. So I related to that music, and it's good to hear that stuff come from you. But again, please tell them how they can get your music, man, before we get into these topics.
Yeah. All streaming platforms. I'm the dark horse. I prefer Tidal, so it's on Tidal, but it's also on the major streaming platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music. And if you want to watch it on YouTube, it's on YouTube. And once again, if you want to search all that, it's just my name, Laroy Streat, LaroyStreat.
And a little secret, people and artists out there, artists who are doing music, we're finding that putting music on reels is making a killing. Oh my God, it adds up quick. I do my little tweets, and I've been putting Viana's music on those reels, and my reels, they get 100 or more, and they're blowing up, and you get money off that now. TikTok is paying you, Facebook is paying you, they're all cutting checks. So artists, if you're looking for a way to get some of that revenue stream in there, that's another way. Get your music registered, because there's nothing more worse than dealing with artists and then their music, they're not registered in ASCAP or BMI, and it's like, well, what are you doing this for? Why are you making videos and stuff, and you ain't even registered? So it's nice. So we're gonna get into some of these topics. Leroy's gonna hang on with me. It's 7:30. Jason Dooley, what's going on? Jason Dooley, I was actually speaking with him about the Boston music scene. DJ George Bain is in the chat. What's going on? So we can get into these topics. News booth in Brockton. 2 men from Fall River shot at the Speedway on North Main Street in Brockton. That's pretty much it on this story. The reason why they're mentioning this, it was brazen. It was during the day. It was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And, of course, nobody know nothing. Nobody know nothing up in here? How'd that movie go? Nobody know nothing? 12 o'clock in the afternoon at Speedway gas station, one of the busiest gas stations, bro, but nobody knows nothing.
Of course.
Nobody knows nothing. Today, legal marijuana sales begins in one more state, Connecticut. At we're one state away from being more than half the states with recreational marijuana. As I've said before, we need to push this because once the feds realize, and it's coming, people, it's already one step away for being nationwide. Once it goes nationwide, a lot of people are going to be able to be tested and be able to work a job and not be tested unless there's an incident of things that are maybe pre-employment. But a lot of it's going to open back up for people to be able to smoke and work responsibly. So we're going to see about that. Also in the news booth, F your diet. January came, everybody's starting to try to lose weight, and the Girl Scouts are like, you know what? F your diet. Why? Because today is the official season for Girl Scout cookies. Why?
Oh, man.
Brothers is at the gym on the treadmill trying to lose that weight for the summer. All of a sudden, you get that thing on your phone, the notification, and then they got the nerve to say, and we got new flavors. Come on, bro.
Oh, man.
They got a new raspberry jelly treat. Girl Scout, come on. Bro, look, you know when they announce new flavors, you got to get it.
Right.
Where's my Girl Scout?
They breaking New Year's resolutions, man. One cookie at a time.
Trust and believe, because I'm that dude. Trust and believe me, I'm calling somebody I know whose daughter's a Girl Scout. And somebody's gonna be like, Keith, you ain't at the gym. Why you ain't at the gym this week? I'm gonna be sitting at home on my phone with a big glass of milk and my box of Samoas. Bro, I'll be there in 2 weeks. I'm fit.
Oh, man.
And if you're in the chat, drop in the chat, because I know you're all mad that I just announced it, because some people are probably trying to lose weight. They didn't even know about this and Keith, you wrong. Why you go and mention that, man?
Yeah, you ruined it for him, brother. You ruined it for him.
You like Girl Scout cookies? What's your favorite?
Oh, man. I don't even really eat Girl Scout cookies like that, man. Not even like that. That's not really my thing. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry.
So my son likes them Thin Mints, them grasshoppers, and he puts them in the freezer. Okay. He likes them cold. I like the Samoas, but they, again, like I said, they got new flavors. They always come with new flavors. So it's like, just when you think, I don't need to get them this year. Oh, wait, they got new flavors?
My mother always had the Thin Mints in the house.
Oh.
So she had the Thin Mints, brother.
Man. So anybody who's got a Girl Scout out there, hook sends to one up, I will order. In the legal booth, husband Brian Walshe here down in Cohasset is now being held in the case of his missing wife, Ana Walshe. They actually went and searched the home. They've now found a knife with blood. So he's being held. They still haven't found her body. But this 2023 is the year of the crazy psychos, because right now, have you heard this story about this Bryan Kohberger in Idaho?
I have.
This story, now, Vienna Marie actually turned me on to the show Dexter. I started watching the show Dexter. And I'm hearing this Bryan Kohberger, who they arrested. He's a handsome dude. He looks like friggin' what's his name there? Jake Gyllenhaal will play him in the movie. Yep. But first things that's happened, he's being held on the murder of these 4 kids in Idaho. Now they found that Bryan Kohberger, under a different name, may have actually discussed the murders in chat rooms on Facebook and Reddit. He knew, and the reason why they said is because he knew things that only the investigators knew from checking the site. So this is how crazy this guy may be. This is what's scary. He was in the chat room talking about these things, so they think this is him. Also, they found a sheath for a K-Bar marine knife. The K-Bar marine knife, only certain people can buy it. They found this sheath with blood and his fingerprints on the murder scene. No murder weapon. And I was talking about this week, and I said, I feel like this dude wanted to get caught. And I feel like,
sounds like it.
Yeah, I feel like these four people that he killed, I don't think they're his first. This dude's been studying criminology. He wrote theses and reports. He's got a bachelor's degree in criminal science. This guy's like a real life Dexter. And
Right, right.
I don't think these four people, I don't think they're his first. I think this kid was a serial killer from the get go. Um, High school friends are now saying that he weighed a lot in high school, and they said he was picked on a lot. No girls wanted to date him. He was verbally abused at school every day. Senior year, he disappeared, and I guess he got addicted to heroin. He had mother issues, I guess. So it's scary that
That's a
someone
good
like this.
gumbo to turn out the way he did.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So I want to kind of keep an eye on this and let people watch on, and we're going to keep an eye on it because I'm kind of obsessed with this story. Um, what are your thoughts on that? It just sounds like serial killer to me.
Well, you know what? I think 5 or 6 years from now, we're gonna be able to watch a whole Netflix documentary and see detail by detail what exactly what we're talking about right now. And I don't know if you noticed, but with a couple of the disappearances that have happened over the past couple of years, Hulu has these documentaries almost a couple weeks after they occur.
Right.
It's amazing the money that is being poured into stories like this. So I mark my words, 3, 4, 5 years from now, we're gonna watch a documentary. We're gonna know exactly what went on with this kid and the cause of what caused him to become that type of person.
And one of the things that people don't know about that's happening right now, and I've been watching, is we have a lot of these cold case podcasts. These are podcasts where they decide to take up these murders that cops can't solve. And guess what's happening, people? There's a couple of podcasts out there that have been solving cold case murders. Why? Because they don't have to follow the rules and regulations that private detectives and cops have to follow. So they can go and ask the people what they want to ask. They can go and turn over stones that cops and private detectives can't overturn without search warrants and things of that sort. And a lot of these podcasts now are solving cold cases from 30, 40, 50 years because they're questioning people that they shouldn't be questioning. And they're going about it in a way where they, this is the new thing now. And we talk about this, and it's scary. It's crazy stuff. Let me get into this next topic. Next topic here in the legal booth. Mobile, Alabama firefighter was fired over a neck tattoo. I've got the clip that we're going to look at real quick here. She's a mobile firefighter in Mobile, Alabama. She was fired because she got a neck tattoo on her neck, and they said that it was against the rules, but she said, but you already have other firefighters with this. I'm going to let you guys watch this clip, and then we're going to talk about this real quick, because there's some things that bother me on this one, and it's kind of crazy because her superiors were also fired for kind of protecting her with this. So here's the story, courtesy of WKRG News 5 in Alabama. Here it is. This is the fired firefighter for the neck tattoo. It's a good story.
Good morning. Kayana Adams wears her tattoos with pride, just as she used to wear her Mobile Fire Rescue uniform with pride. Adams worked at the Maryville station on Dauphin Island Parkway, but this tattoo changed it all. Adams got this new ink on the back of her head in June of 2022. She believed it followed the fire department's policy, which then prohibited tattoos on the face or neck.
Hiring people before, during, and after me with neck tattoos, more prominent than mine, was kind of also impactful in that as well. I figured mine could be done in decency and order. I could, also based off the rules, I could cover it up.
But that was not the case.
Somebody put in a complaint in regards to my tattoo, and the next thing I knew, I was being investigated for it, and interrogated behind it, and then, they made their decision that I was in violation of the policy.
At that point, Adams says the city gave her the option to grow out her hair to hide the tattoo, which she did. But then, Adams says weeks later another complaint was filed regarding her hair being grown out and not being in compliance with the city's policy.
we have different textures of hair, so you have no idea how long it takes for my hair to grow.
3 months after Adams got her tattoo, the department changed the policy to also prohibit head tattoos above the neckline. On November 10th, a photo was taken by one of the captains at her station of the back of Adams' head. The tattoo was no longer visible. Adams says she was fired the same day the photo was taken.
Definitely blindsided. You know, I never thought that it would come to this, especially considering I was in compliance. You know, I'm not necessarily out here trying to be disobedient. I'm not breaking any laws or anything like that. It's just a tattoo. What's behind me shouldn't affect the work that's in front of me.
In a written statement provided to News 5, Public Safety Director Lawrence Batiste wrote, quote, I can confirm a former firefighter was terminated earlier this year during their working test period for failing to meet MFRD standards. The working test period is 6 months. Adams says hers was extended by an additional 6 months after she was told her tattoo was not in compliance with the city's policy. When asked whether other currently serving Mobile firefighters had tattoos that violated the department policy, a city spokesperson confirmed to News 5, yes, at least one firefighter has a neck tattoo. He was not being terminated for policy violation. Instead, he was being allowed to cover the tattoo and have it removed. Adams believes there's more to her firing than just her head tattoo.
How else would I was supposed to feel, you know, especially coming to work every day on time, doing exactly what I was supposed to do, trying to go above and beyond, helping out where I can. What else would I could assume?
Adams said she spoke up about things she experienced and observed during her time as a trainee and new firefighter. She says she filed one grievance about the tattoo complaint against her and 2 complaints about what she calls sexist comments by a couple of male firefighters.
You know, statements in regards to, you know, I don't want to work with women, you know, overhearing stuff like that, it definitely impacts you.
Adams says she also witnessed and spoke up about what she called a disturbing incident at the training academy.
It was rope week, and a decent amount of people on the other half of the classroom were discussing trying to tie nooses, and you know, instinctively, I guess I just kind of stood up and said, you know, if you want to learn how to do that, I think that it's best you do that on your free time, but I don't think it's appropriate, you know, here right now in this moment.
Adams says 2 MFRD captains spoke up to defend her.
Without them, you know, I don't know how bad it could have been. You know, I've had people yelling at me in my face, and me as a woman and these being men, I don't know what would have happened if they weren't there for me.
The 2 fire captains she confided in about her concerns were Captain Jason Craig and Captain Roderick Schutz.
It is good that I had people in my corner willing to stand up for me and, you know, have my best interest at heart.
And both were disciplined. Captain Jason Craig was suspended. Captain Roderick Schutz was fired. In a written statement, Public Safety Director Batiste said Schutz was terminated for, quote, attempting to obstruct a valid order from a superior officer, ignoring orders, and using disrespectful and defiant language to a superior officer. And Craig was suspended for 30 days for insubordination, failure to follow orders from a superior officer, and failure to investigate, document, and report a violation of MFRD policy. Now, Captain Roderick Schutz and Captain Jason Craig are appealing. Adams has filed an Equal Employment Opportunity Commission complaint against the fire department. Through a spokesperson, Mobile Fire Chief Jeremy Lamey and Mayor Sandy Stimson refused requests for on-camera interviews about the disciplinary actions taken against the 3 firefighters, saying these are personnel matters subject to litigation. Live in studio, Shamani Baker, WKRG News 5.
So for me, with this story, first of all, let's get into the neck tattoo. I get you got rules and regulations, but let's discuss, first of all, firefighters and tattoos. First of all, when a firefighter goes out on a call, they wear so much gear, you don't see any tattoos, number one. Number two, for me, I feel like, who gives a F if a firefighter has a neck tattoo or a tattoo anywhere in their body? Because you know something? In one moment, a firefighter could go on the call and lose their life.
True.
And I feel like, I get it. You want to have discipline, or you want to put on some type of they need to represent themselves in some certain way. But I feel like we're headed to this point where tattoos are going to become freedom of speech. Your body and tattoos are going to be a personal expression, and it's going to become protected. I think we're headed towards that. But again, I don't know. I feel like this shouldn't even be an issue. I don't think there should be an issue with firefighters having tattoos anywhere, as long as they can fight fires and save lives. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Unless the tattoo is saying something that qualifies as hate speech, or it's a symbol that qualifies as something that we don't want to, a swastika, something like that, then unless it's one of those things, there shouldn't be a problem here.
Yeah, I feel like these are people who put their lives on the line every day. One call and their life is done, and you know what? It doesn't matter what tattoo that she had on the back of her neck. And I feel like there's enough gear when she goes out on the call, even if it's showing. Once she puts her helmet and that hat thing around her neck and the stuff to protect her from being burned, you don't see any of that anyway. So it's all right.
Hey, listen, if I'm in a burning building and she's coming to save my life, I ain't gonna look at the back of her neck and be like, yo, you got a tattoo. Get me out of here. That's all I'm gonna tell her.
So people, that's actually a big legal story that's going on. Chris Gagne, he's a union guy for Local 264. If you can drop in the chat what your feelings were on that story, as far as, because that, firefighter is a union job, and we got to get into that. Entertainment booth today in Boston, right down the street from my job. Ben Affleck was serving up orders for a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. He worked the drive-through this morning, so when you stop to get your coffee, Ben Affleck was there. I stayed in my office because J-Lo wasn't there. Because if J-Lo was at Dunkin' Donuts,
I heard they both did the commercial though.
Was she there?
They were both doing the commercial. Yeah, they both did a commercial together, bro. Yes. I'm not even playing with you. They both did a Dunkin' Donuts commercial together today.
So she was there. J-Lo was at Dunkin's today. Oh man, I'd have pulled up for my snack and bacon. Oh, trustably, I'd have fought Ben Affleck. I'd have fought Batman. I would have fought Batman. I'd been Andy up. Let's go, Ben. Let's go, Ben. Because she drops dudes like no tomorrow. I feel like anybody's got a chance with J-Lo on a good day. She's. I do. I feel like on a good day, anybody's got a chance with J-Lo. Netflix just released the trailer for this movie, You People, featuring Eddie Murphy, Jonah Hill, and guess who else is in this movie? Lauren London. For those who don't know who Lauren London is, let them know, man. Yes. Let them know who she is.
Lauren London, well, if you're familiar with her, you know her from ATL, the movie ATL that she was in, but she was we now know her, unfortunately, as the wife of the legend Nipsey Hussle, who passed away a couple years ago. So that's unfortunately what she's known for now, but she was definitely the actress of actresses, especially for kids like me growing up in movies like ATL and other things like that. She was. If you didn't have a crush on Lauren London, then you were crazy back then.
She's kind of thick in this movie, but here's the trailer right here. Check this out. This is You People with Jonah Hill. So Jonah Hill is Jewish, and he meets her, and they start dating, and he decides he wants to marry her. And Eddie Murphy's her dad, but they're Muslims. So you got this Jewish family and this Muslim family that's got to come together for this wedding. This is look, Netflix is taking my $15 with a smile because they're putting movies out here. I really don't care. But here's the clip. Here we go. Here we go right here.
Ezra, what are you up to these days? Got a girlfriend?
No.
But you don't like getting pussy?
Okay. Hearing the word pussy come out of your mouth does make me question whether or not I like it.
Back again up in this mother.
I'm never gonna meet a woman who understands me.
I don't think I've heard of a man ever who wanted to be in a relationship so badly besides Drake. And I'm talking Views Drake.
They hear that loud, ooh.
I feel like Views Drake, alone on a building, dangling my legs off, wondering what it's like to feel companionship. What the fuck? What the fuck? What are you doing? Stop!
Help me to
Okay, but you're not getting 5 stars.
You're no Uber driver.
I mean, honestly, you guys are twins.
Oh my God, wait, she really does look like me.
I'm sorry. This was insane. Let me make it up to you.
You're dating a black girl?
I've never felt so understood by somebody in my entire life.
Whether you like it or not, we kind of go together now.
You're my boo. Come on. I'm gonna ask her to marry me.
Do you plan to? Out to her family?
Yeah, I just haven't had the chance to meet them.
What's going on? Tell me about life. How are you?
This is your white granddaddy come back to haunt me.
What? Now this is my fault?
So you want to marry my daughter?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well, Ezra, you could try.
But they hate me.
Can you honestly say that your family's excited to have my black ass in the picture?
Oh my gosh, you are so beautiful.
I think the police
are
fucked up towards black people.
I like your braids.
Thank you.
Exhibit had braids.
We've built a pretty awesome life together. We just need to protect it.
Oh, so you're all Muslim.
Very much so.
I love it.
This kufi that I'm wearing was actually a gift from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Are you familiar with the minister's work?
Well, I'm familiar with what he said about the Jews.
You know what, let's have dinner.
What's the difference between me and you? You talk a good one, but you don't do what you're supposed to do.
Your family, my family. I don't know how this is gonna work.
Well, we were technically OG slaves. Are you trying to compare the Holocaust to slavery?
Can you pass the potatoes?
Our people came here with nothing like everybody else.
They're very uncomfortable conversations.
Are you kidding
Did
me?
we ever figure out what happened with the potatoes?
Are you kidding me?
ETA on those?
What's the difference between me and you?
Hey, what's up with White Cuz?
Am I white, cuz?
Well, I'm not.
I'm white, cuz, for sure.
Yep, there we go. Netflix taking my money once again. That $14.99 I give you every month. Yo, Netflix is killing it. I don't look when you putting out solid movies like Netflix is doing, original films like that. I don't care to give up my $14 a month. You know, I got a little nice gazebo in the backyard. Last year in the summertime, we bring the TV out. We'd have movie nights out in the backyard. Most of the movies last summer were Netflix movies. We watched Army of the Dead in the backyard with the surround sound in the summertime, popcorn machine outside, fire going, marshmallows and s'mores. Netflix, you can take my $14 a month. You keep putting out projects like this, boy.
For sure. But do you know who's back though? And he's had a movie I think almost every year now since 2019. Dolomite Is My Name, Coming to America 2. And now you people, Eddie Murphy is back.
Yeah, and he signed that contract with Netflix. When they was giving that money out, Netflix is like, who can we sign that people are gonna flood and come see their movies? And they locked it down. They did it right. They got Dave Chappelle. They locked Dave Chappelle down to the contract. They've got Shonda from ABC, and she hasn't even started to do her stuff for Netflix yet. When Shonda starts getting her stuff going on Netflix, they got Kenya Barris on there now. They've got Eddie Murphy. So they've signed a lot of black people to Netflix, and they're pulling they're pulling these people in, and they're getting the money, they're getting movies, and then you put him with someone like Jonah Hill, who everybody already loves. Jonah Hill, who's funny as hell. That's a win-win right there.
Yeah, very unique combination, those two, man. Very unique combination. Hey, how do you feel about, I want to ask you something real quick, man. How do you feel about seeing Nia Long in this movie with all the stuff that's going on with her in the past few months?
I'm not gonna lie, I seen her, I cringed. I was like, oh damn, was she off filming this when bro was having his affair? But she's sticking by him though, so I can't say much because she stuck by him. She told everybody, mind your business, and that's my man. So who knows what they got going on? I don't know, but Nia Long already spoke, and I'm respecting what she said. She's still bad as hell though. Felicia Damon, what's going on? Beverly, what's going on? She said definitely watching that. Jonah Hill, Superbad was one of my Superbad was a riot. Chris Gagdy, I believe there was a long time ago when police were not supposed to have tattoos as well, but they are accepted more in society, and a lot of police departments accept them. I did, however, advise my son when he was getting ink, the minute you decide not to be taken seriously forever, get them on your neck. So that's what Chris Gagdy said to his son. It seems they will be looked at differently. It's the same old tramp stamp. Yep, it's perception. It's all about perception. And I said, one of the things about this in tattoos, I think we're headed to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and I think tattoos will be the next protected thing by the federal government within the next 5 years. I think it's coming with so many people who are being held accountable for tattoos and stuff. Let's move along here because like I said, I got a couple of trailers here tonight that are great that I was given. Nicolas Cage. I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is a huge fan of Dracula Christopher Lee films. Back in the day in the 70s, my dad had me watch these Hammer films with Dracula, with Christopher Lee. They were action. It was like horror action back then. So if you watched a Christopher Lee Dracula movie, it was like a horror action movie back then in the 70s. You got, there was stunts, there was all these fight scenes and stuff of that sort. So Nicolas Cage channels Christopher Lee. Check out this trailer. This is the Universal reboot of the Dracula series called Renfield. For those who don't remember who Renfield is the guy who Dracula gives him a taste of vampire powers so he can go and get people for him to feed off of. That's who Renfield was. So check this trailer out, but also check out Nicolas Cage as Dracula. Here we go.
Sorry to interrupt. Are you okay? I need to get out of a toxic relationship.
Why don't you start by telling us what brought you here?
My boss, he's different.
You can't get him out of your head.
No.
I need your assistance.
I'm coming, Master!
Oh, you feel like he could destroy you with the snap of his fingers.
Wouldn't even need to snap. Okay.
Uh-huh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, what?
Renfield, bring in innocent victims. I want a handful of nuns, a busload of cheerleaders.
And I just want a normal life again. But this modern world is a dangerous place.
Thank you. You saved my life. Did I watch you cut a guy with a decorative serving platter?
It's all in the wrist. Let me explain. My boss gave me this power. In return, I tend to his needs, including care, feeding.
You bring him people to eat? You're like the guy that gets the villain's Postmates.
But if you were to stop focusing on his needs, what would happen?
He won't grow to full power.
Exactly. He won't grow to full power. What? That's so weird. Why would you phrase it like that? But yes. Hi. Are you here for the meeting? Well, come on.
No! No! Some call me the Dark One. Others, the Lord of Death. To most, I am Dracula.
Okay, obviously we're dealing with a little bit more than just narcissism here.
Now, let's eat.
So I got to thank Universal Pictures for that clip. That is Renfield. What do you think, man? It's a whole different. Usually, Nicolas Cage kills everything he's in anyway. Nicolas Cage is. You give this man a role, and Nicolas Cage usually kills it. And
Definitely.
I feel like Nicolas Cage has been dying to play Dracula. I feel like he's been dying for this moment.
Right. Right.
Your thoughts on the trailer?
Man, I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see it. That's my first time seeing it, so I'm glad you opened me up to that trailer, man. But it definitely looks like something I'd be into. I love those type of movies, man. So
nice.
I'm into it. I can't wait to see it.
And for the last trailer I got this week to show you guys to break, are you a fan of horror movies?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
the Conjuring, Insidious. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started.
So
you're triggering me now.
Two people, Melissa from Hot 96.9, and actually my artist Viana Marie, turned me on to I hadn't watched The Conjuring at all, and I remember I went down when I first started managing Viana. I went down to Mississippi, and she showed me the first Conjuring film, and I was like, okay, first of all, this is based on a true story.
Yes.
Number one.
Yes.
And I remember because they talked about the Amityville Horror and all this stuff, and I watched that first movie and I was like, okay, I like this whole husband and wife thing. I like this whole spirit thing. I said, let me see where this goes. And then I seen Conjuring 2, and I was like, oh, they onto something here. They onto something.
Yeah,
here.
Man. Yeah, man. The Annabelle series, Ed and Lorraine Warren, man. That I live for that stuff. Man. I live for that stuff.
That spooky stuff. So you gonna love this trailer right here. Right here. So back in the 80s, y'all remember Evil Dead, and they did a little reboot of the Evil Dead. What's up, Felicia? She says Peggy Sue got married to Dracula. Very talented. She says, have you checked out Three Pines yet? No, not yet. Haven't checked out Three Pines yet. But they redid Evil Dead, and it was a hit. It was a success. But this April, they are bringing back the sequel to Evil Dead called Evil Dead Rises. And you know what I always love? I love when they take kids and put kids in horror situations. So you take this movie Evil Dead, which is about the Book of the Dead and demons coming back, but now you got kids having to fight demons. But what do you do when the demon is your mother? So here we go. Oof. Evil Dead Rises. The demon that's come back is their mother. Here we go. Let me just drop this trailer. Here we go.
What's up, sis?
I had the most beautiful dream.
It was the perfect day. And all I could think about was how much I wanted to cut you all open and then climb inside your bodies. So that we could stay one happy family.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother,
What is this, Danny? I found it.
what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me.
Open up now.
You don't look so good, Mom.
Nothing a big old kiss from you won't fix.
I'm getting us out of here. I promise.
You'd be a good mom someday, Honeybah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know how to lie to kids.
They said,
Mommy's with the maggots now.
What will be, will be.
Before I get into this, white people. I got something for you. I got white people in horror films. I got T-Pain. Let him know.
Stop doing that! Stop!
Stop doing. Look, white people. If your mother's outside the door and the door's locked, and she's talking about how she wants to eat your bones and your spirit, don't.
Stop doing that! Stop!
White people. I love my friends, but these horror movies like Evil Dead, you're never gonna see black people because you're not. We ain't opening the door. Mom could be outside.
Why are you opening the door? Why? Well, what about what you saw on the people said? Let's welcome her in.
And I got a lot of white friends, but when we watch horror movies together, white people horror films.
Jesus! God! Tap dancing Christ!
There's a viral video going around right now where it's a 15-second horror movie starring a black person, and the black person walks inside the store, sees a monster, turns around, walks right back out. That's the movie right there.
Yeah, it's like that Geico. It's like the Geico commercial where the black dude buys the house and he goes upstairs and all the broken dolls, and the gecko's like, "Well, congratulations." The black guy's, "Nope." Nope.
Oh man.
Chris Gagney says, "Damn protective text animal." Oh, maybe he didn't mean animal. Oh, anime. Chris Gagney. The anime store that I went to at South Shore Plaza it had no name. It's just in the middle of the South Shore Plaza. It's a booth. It's all anime figures. I ended up going in. The first day I went by there, I didn't spend no money. I had control. Then I had to go back and pick up the phone at Apple that was fixed on the second day, and I had to walk by this anime booth again, and the girl's like, "Oh, you like anime?" She see my anime tattoo, and she said, "Buy two, get one free." Oh, man. It was a wrap. It was a wrap. But that's the Evil Dead Rises trailer. We showed you the Renfield. Look, again, my friends, my white people friends, stop doing that. See, you can only make movies about demons and stuff coming because, like, it's peculiar. Mom, but that's Mom. That's Mom. Let her in.
No, don't matter. Don't matter.
And they got Mom up there breaking eggs with blood and guts, and they just standing there. Like, they just standing there.
Yeah.
Why?
Yo, we're going to take a trip. We'll be back when you're right.
Oh, my God. Also in the entertainment booth, Joe Rogan is causing controversy on his podcast. Joe Rogan said that the morons had a king when he talked about President Trump on his show. Joe Rogan, his views are opposite of what, a lot of MMA fans and people in the MMA world are Donald Trump fans. So he is really trying to separate himself from 2024. Marjorie Taylor Greene was locked out of her Twitter booth because she used Dr. Dre's music she used Still Dre without his permission. Dr. Dre shut that shit down, got her banned and locked out of her account. And instead of her just saying, "I use this music without permission," Marjorie Taylor Greene does the typical GOP deflection, and she releases a statement and says, "Well, I admire Dr. Dre's chord progression in the music he produces, but I wasn't about to use the misogynist, violent lyrics against cops and women." Really? So it was okay to use his music for your purpose, but you didn't want to use his lyrics because you didn't agree with his lyrics. See the craziness there?
Right.
That's
right.
Either you don't like Dr. Dre, or you like Dr. Dre. Don't
Yep.
spin it. Oh man, it's crazy. In the sports booth, Patriots lose to the Bills in Buffalo. I had already said that they were going to lose. I knew they were going to lose this game. I had the Patriots 8-9 this year. And Bill Belichick says, guess what? I'm returning for another season for the Patriots head coach. And with that, Karen Gergen of the Herald, she says, well, Belichick won't open up and admit to his mistake. Well, Karen, he did. He did around week 8. He did admit and say that this offensive coordinator issue was his fault. He did admit it. For those who are out here talking about fire Belichick and trade Mac Jones, look, the problem was the offensive coordinator was horrible. You had Matt Patricia, who's the defensive coordinator. Here's the problem. I spoke about this on WATD last night. If you've been paying attention to this since the draft, when Mac Jones got drafted, Bill O'Brien, who was the offensive coordinator for Nick Saban down in Alabama, was supposed to come here and be the offensive coordinator, but Nick Saban didn't want to let him go. So the plan was that Bill O'Brien was supposed to come here and be offensive coordinator this year to help Mac Jones progress in his second year. It didn't happen. He stayed with Nick Saban down in Alabama, and the rumor is that he stayed this season, but he will be here next season. The reason why I think this also partially happened is because if Bill O'Brien came here at the same time as Mac Jones, then it looks like that Belichick and Nick Saban and everybody was in cahoots, and they had already been talking before this whole draft and stuff, and that's a no-no. So I can see why Nick Saban wouldn't allow him to be here. Belichick's problem this year is that he brought Joe Judge in. He brought Matt Patricia in. He didn't want to decide who an OC was. The press knew about it. The press is acting like they don't know. They do. They know about it because when week 3 of preseason hit, what was the press asking Belichick? Who's the OC? Who's the OC? Who's the OC? Because they already knew that Bill O'Brien, people behind closed doors already knew Bill O'Brien wasn't coming here. So they knew, and they tried to force Belichick's card, and Belichick knew that, and Belichick's stubborn, and he's not going to give the press what they want. So he said, I'm not naming an offensive coordinator. And here's what happened. Matt Patricia sucked as offensive coordinator. We had wide receivers bumping into each other. We had play calling that was horrendous and really didn't get going until week 11, and we finished with an 8-9 season. Bob Kraft has now said that he promises a critical evaluation of all football operations. What's going to happen is Bill O'Brien is coming here, and Bill O'Brien is looking to be the heir apparent to when Belichick retires. What are your thoughts on the Patriots season?
This is why you don't fire Bill Belichick right here. This is why you don't fire Bill Belichick. Everything that you said was all facts, all truthful, and we were still, with the debacle of a season that we've had this season, we were still 2 kickoff returns away from getting into the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't get rid of Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you let Bill Belichick reconcile his own mistakes and bring in, hey, listen, we might get Cliff Kingsbury too. He's on the market right now.
Yeah, and that's coming up.
I'd rather get the young offensive coordinator that needs to prove himself right now. Bill O'Brien needs to prove himself as well, but Cliff Kingsbury just came off of a 4-13 season and got fired. He's fired up to try to show the world that he can still be a head coach. So whether or not it's Bill O'Brien or Cliff Kingsbury, you bring Bill Belichick back, you bring Mac Jones back, you get him a certified offensive coordinator and real pieces, and really see what we can do with the young people that we have coming up. Marcus Jones, Doc Jones, even though he's going through his issues right now. We have a good young core. Stevenson, we have a great young core to build off of right now.
Yeah, and Devontae Parker, Tyreek Thornton. We've got some receivers that are showing some flashes of being great receivers. Again, when you don't have a good offensive coordinator, you can't see it. But this season, we've shown, we've seen it, and you've got Kendrick Bourne, who's also out there. So we've got a good team. We need that offensive coordinator. You really can't see nothing without that offensive coordinator. And to be honest, people, this Belichick having to admit that he made a mistake, the only guy that he has to admit this to behind closed doors is Bob Kraft. He's The only guy he's going to say, I'm sorry, too, I messed up this year, is Bob Kraft. He don't owe us. He don't owe Patriots Nation. He don't owe these reporters to come out and say, I made a mistake, I messed up. He don't owe that to any of us because we don't need to know that. We already going to draw our own conclusions anyway, most of these people out here, and that pisses me off. But it's something that that this weekend, I already, the Bills were going to win that game regardless. The Bills were going to win this game regardless. Now, let me pull this up here because the Patriots season for next season has already been announced. The opponents here next season.
Yes.
Let's get this up right here for you guys. Boom. So at home next year, we've got our usual AFC East, and we'll probably split with the Dolphins once again. But the Chargers are coming here. Chargers are coming here next year. Kansas City Chiefs are coming here next year. The New Orleans Saints are coming here next year. And the Eagles are coming here. Yeah, and the Washington Commanders are going to be here next year. For away games next year, Patriots are going back to Vegas.
Nice.
So I might try to get out there. They're going to Dallas. Dallas. And Denver. They got to go to Denver, which is going to be in rebuilding phase. They're stuck with Russell Wilson. And then they've got the Steelers, who their quarterback is developing nicely down there. That young kid down there in Pittsburgh, he's developing. And then they've got the Giants in New York, which should be a good game. We'll see.
Let me ask you this. From these teams that you're looking at right here, how many right now as the Patriots are currently constructed, how many automatic wins do you see on that list right there?
So without seeing what we do in next year's free agents and stuff, right now, with the team we have right now, at home, they went toe-to-toe with KC. KC just barely got out of here the last time they came here. The Chargers, they can go toe-to-toe. The defense this year proved that they could go toe-to-toe to everyone. They just got to close out games.
Agreed.
I definitely think New Orleans Saints is a definite win. I think the Jets at home is a definite win. I think the Colts got some serious problems. I think that's a definite win here. Going away, I think Dallas is a tough game. I think they take the Broncos. I think they take the Steelers. I think they take the Giants. And I think because of what happened this year with the Raiders, isn't going to happen next year. So I think they take the Raiders next year out there in Vegas. And Washington Commanders are coming here. Washington Commanders, until that team is sold and has somebody there that's about that team, they're coming here for a loss. I think the Washington Commanders are coming here for a loss. I got it. Like I said,
you just gave them 10 wins.
Yeah, next year, the schedule that they had this year, that was a hard schedule this year. That schedule when it came out, I said they were 8-9 and they finished 8-9 because I felt with the moves they had in free agency and stuff, I felt that was a tough schedule. And then the way the NFL scheduled it, they came off a bye week, and they had, they went away. It was just a crazy, crazy schedule. So we'll see. We'll see next year. I love my football, man. I love my football.
We got a Saints fan in the comments, man. Oh my goodness.
Oh, really?
My goodness.
She said, Felicia, leave my Saints alone.
Oh man.
the New Orleans Aints. People, Damar Hamlin released from the Cincinnati hospital. He returned back to Buffalo yesterday. Prayers up, man. That one of the most scariest moments in sports. In all of sports I've ever seen was that last Monday night when I was watching. Everybody knows me too. I tweet. I watch all the games. I'm tweeting during the games. I'm Facebook and I'm putting out all my little info out there for reels and doing that. And when that moment happened, everybody was all over my reels. Everybody was all over everything because they were like, "Wow, what's going on?" And then nobody could believe it. And to be honest, 24 years old, cardiac arrest, and here he is. He's released from the hospital. He's back in Buffalo. God is good. But let's talk about these firings real quick because I got about 2 minutes left. Cliff Kingsbury fired. Arizona. Yes. You feel he wouldn't be a bad addition here?
No, I'd love him here.
We would see that, but also someone else got fired from the NFL because somebody said, "I'm shook. There's someone on this planet that can talk more than Leroy." Paul Holtrop.
Shouts out to Paul, man. That's a day one fan. Shouts out to Paul.
He must be he's talking about me on YouTube. That is hilarious. He said that thank you, Paul, for watching the show. Thank you, man. Good stuff. Also fired, Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith, in his first year, he was 3-13-1. The reason why Lovie Smith was fired, people, it wasn't because of his record.
Nope.
The Texans were going to have the first round pick in next year's draft. But because they won this last game, the first pick goes to Chicago now. And the front office was pissed. And they fired him for that. Do you feel that's a fireable offense?
How do you feel about that? Listen,
I'm torn because I know how much it means to have that first round pick, to be honest. So I'm torn. I know how the front office feels. I feel like they would, they're like, hey, you should have just dialed it in. Let's get this first round pick. But again, it's his first season, bro. Like I'm torn because I get it. You want the first round pick. The last thing you want is a guy to come out here and blow somebody out when you got the first round pick wrapped up.
Right. But at the same time, you cannot hate on him for still having that competitive nature and not want to just lay on his own sword.
Right.
You can't hate on him for that. So it's just a fine line. It's a very, very fine line. And I don't know where I stand on which side of it.
Like I said, I can see why they fired him, but I understand for him, he felt, this is honorable. I'm not about to. And you know what? This goes back to the whole thing with the Miami Dolphins and Brian Flores, who he was fired at the end of the season because he was paid to lose games. And they found, the NFL found that wasn't true. There was no proof. But I believe coaches are given incentives to lose games to set them up for the draft.
They were allegedly offering him $300,000 for every game that he lost, Brian Flores. Mm-hmm. So, and he wouldn't take that. So, I'm glad Mike Tomlin scooped him up because if it wasn't for Mike Tomlin, Brian Flores would not have a job in the NFL right now.
AKA Omar Epps. Every time I talk about Mike Tomlin on this show, I'm like, if there's ever a Mike Tomlin movie, Omar Epps is playing Mike Tomlin.
For sure, yes, without a doubt.
All right, we're going to get ready to wrap up here with the Biden Bombshells. Biden Bombshells, Kevin McCarthy finally secured speakership for Speaker of the House, but he's going to watch his back because New York Democrat Hakeem Jeffries spoke that night, and Hakeem Jeffries can speak, man. I felt like I was watching Obama again at the Democratic National Convention. Hakeem Jeffries put the light on him. So we're going to see what happens. But Kevin McCarthy finally secured the Speaker of the House, the votes he needed. My man R Squared just did 2 articles over at the Corridor, just released another one tonight. And we're going to see what's going on here. Also, the DOJ is reviewing potentially classified documents at Biden's think tank. There's a place where presidents go to speak with the public. And they found the place is closing. So they found some papers, some documents there from a speech that was there for Biden when he was vice president years ago. So now they've got to investigate it. But all the Trump people are going out of their minds and they're saying, well, if this classified, no, it's not the same. I'm going to hold off because if this still has traction, I'm going to wait till my guys come back on. And my guys, it's a defense attorney and a JAG officer from the military. I'm going to let the guys who know about this speak on it, and we can go from there. But again, hey, thank you, everybody, for checking out my show. Here are the hats that everybody has supported time and time again. Also, the shows that I produce, the podcasts that I produce, all you people in the chat. It is great stuff to see that support. And again, I got to thank my man, Laroy Streat, for coming on with me here. Let them know again one more time how they can find you, how they can follow you, man. Let them know.
Yeah, on all social media platforms, it's Laroy Streat, LaroyStreat. That's on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Tidal, anywhere you get your music. My music is there. Just search my name and you'll find it. Appreciate the support, man. Thank you.
Nice. And we're going to get ready to get out of here. Matty C Sports for You and Me. He's got Eggers, the Bear Slayer Scrivers on. 8:30 is premiering, so you guys want to make sure to head over, jump over, and check out Matty C's Sports for You and Me. SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take us home.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I made it, bitch, don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, but y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, it's like I'm my own now. I get hard, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com. WHOOBAZOO.com.